Welcome back to Grow Joyfully Home and Garden Tour Saturday with your host, Grandma Sandy, with your co-hosts, Suffolk Susie, Pat's Garden Life, and Growing on Vancouver Island. This is an open collaboration that anyone can join. Just use the hashtag Garden Tour Saturday. Well, it's the very first day of August. I have mixed feelings. It's very hot. It's still smoky. Not quite as bad as it was yesterday. But it's my sweet husband's birthday, and that is my focus and my goal, to make his day a wonderful day. We were just talking about the state of our gardens and how we felt about it. Not overly positive, but we're trying. We're trying to keep working on it. We're trying to keep optimistic and motivated despite all the weeds, despite all the weed fabric. I was just listening to Renee's Secret Garden. She is such a sweetheart. She is amazing. She is such a good example to me. She stays so positive throughout all her challenges. She's fighting leukemia, and in my opinion, she's doing it very, very well. She gives credit where credit is due, especially to God, and she's so faithful. That is a great example to me. So I just wanted to give her a shout out that I was listening to her, and I love listening to her, and I love her infectious laugh. She's so positive. I should be ashamed of the way I feel and act at times, because she just keeps going. She's like an ever-ready battery. She just keeps on going. She's like a Timex watch. It takes a licking and keeps on ticking. Yeah, so I just wanted to give her props and hugs and love and positive energy. I love all you guys. I love listening to you. I love learning from you, and believe me, I do learn from you. And the motivation you give me just to keep going. During this late summertime, you finally have your garden kind of fully fleshed out and growing and green, and yet there are so many problems, so many weeds. Look at those weeds down there, haven't even picked up yet. And the fact that my poor, lovely, beautiful, perfect tomatoes are sick this year, that makes me sad. But I don't have any choice about it. I have to keep going on. And I can't do much about it except try to spray them with an organic spray and keep them trimmed up and all the cuttings from them picked up so that doesn't add to the disease. But here I was thinking that maybe I had planted tomatoes out in the pasture garden in the same place for too many years, but yet I have 2 or 3 plants here that are sick as well. Yeah, and it's not exactly just indeterminates. At first I thought, oh well, this is just the indeterminates, but here's a determinate, and it's not happy or well. So I'm going to pull this one out, try to keep the sickness from spreading to the other plants. And I can't decide what to do about this one because it has a tomato. It says Berry's Crazy Cherry. Well, this is nothing like Berry's Crazy Cherry. I don't know what's going on. I think it's a conspiracy of little gnomes or fairies or something to take my tomato plant tags and switch them on me during the night when I'm not in my greenhouse. No, I'm kidding. But still, it's got to be something like that. I know I'm absent-minded now, and I struggle with keeping things straight, but this is ridiculous. Oh no. Another sick plant. And as you can see, there's a wasp right there. And I think it's feeding on, he could just be sleeping and napping, but I think it's feeding on something that is picking on these tomatoes. This tomato plant here has quite a few. I've got to keep it well. I can't believe this. I've got like 140 plants. And I've only had a few very, very small, pathetic tomatoes. Yes, I will remain calm. I enjoy seeing you guys with your victories growing your tomatoes and cutting these big, beautiful slicers up and having them on a mater sandwich. But I may just have to come over there and steal them from you. Of course, you're clear across the country, so that's not going to happen. Anyway, attempt at humor aside, I'm going to go get some work done. Okay, this is totally unacceptable. My chocolate sprinkles tomato plant is sick. Now I'm mad. I was listening to one of you all, and I think it was Heather from Tomatoes, Poppies, and Everything. And she reminded me to disinfect my shears each time in between cuts. Now, in the past, I've never really had to worry about this. My daughter learned it in horticulture school. But I've been like, yeah, we're good. But because these tomato plants are so sick, I'm definitely going to have to do that. So thanks for the reminder. I also had to show you this. My sweet husband covered up all the horrible quackgrass in this area and the lemon balm, and you didn't even know that 2 cute little blueberry plants were there. But here they are, and there's a couple of them that have ripe blueberries. So for things like this, I am so grateful. The grapevines are out of control, and that describes my gardening for the whole summer. Out of control. Enjoy where you are. Be content with what you have. Right, Gypsy? One positive note. My sweet potatoes are taking off. Aren't they beautiful? There are 6 plants in here. I usually only grow about 3 or 4, so hopefully we'll have even more than we did last year. But they are beautiful. They're healthy, knock on wood. Okay, this is Monday morning. I didn't get to finish my video on Saturday for a couple of reasons. One was it was my husband's birthday, and it was so punishingly hot that I finally begged him before 12 o'clock, let's just stop. Let's get cleaned up and go have something to eat for your birthday, and then be able to come back to the house and relax and get ready for the kids coming over for your birthday party. So we did that. And the other thing is my knee. You know that my legs are bothering me. And I think Krista from Simply Just Krista really hits the nail on the head by explaining it and giving wonderful suggestions on what to do about it. So it's a form of edema, to put it in a nutshell, I believe. And basically your veins are not working how they should in order to pump the blood back up from your feet to your heart. That's a very simplified form, but I will leave that there. Anyway, so I have been off my leg and on crutches for 2 days and been trying to keep my foot up and ice my knee and keep going. So here I am for the first day in 2 days to be back out here. One thing, it is deliciously cool, especially in the shade. We're going to have temperatures only up to 85 today like it was yesterday. And for now, the smoke is much more under control. You can see it there. But if you just look at the news at all, not the mainstream media, of course, because you want the truth. If you just look at some of the good weather channels on YouTube in different places like Ryan Hall and different ones, it will show you how many fires are going well throughout the whole country, and I think possibly a good deal of the world. So that's a bit of a worry. Today I just want to see if there are beans to pick, zucchini to pick, cucumbers. I might drop some more seeds for flowers. check and see if there's any more blackberries that need to be picked, and see how well I can do for how long. I'm keeping my chair very close and pulling it around with me. So these are the last live plants I have. I have Thai sweet basil, and it's just doing so well. I almost don't want to take it out and put it in the ground because of all the craziness I'm having with the tomatoes. And they're different species, so they probably won't affect each other, but I don't know that. A couple of tomatoes that are still alive, and I'm kind of hanging on to them. Look at the whitefly. Do you see the whitefly? Oh my gosh. Yep. A few challenges this year for gardeners, but on we go. Here's one of these Phaerocophai tomato plants, and look at it. If any of you know what this is, let me know, because I don't really have this kind of disease here. It could be early blight, late blight, verticillium wilt, and there's another one that starts with an F, I can't remember. But yeah, this is going to die, but we have some life down here. And I've noticed that with my tomatoes in the pasture garden. A lot of them are getting new life down at the bottom. So I'm kind of tempted to cut it off here and see if we get anything before we get our first frost in October, which I hate to even say. If the temperature was like this, like it is right now, I probably would garden so many hours in a day I would drop from exhaustion. But anyway, I'm going to take advantage of this deliciously cool day and try to get out there and get something done. You guys have a wonderful day. Thanks for checking in today. And this is really not a garden tour Saturday. It is a garden tour weekend. Thanks for everyone that participates. And I appreciate the shout outs from Pat's Garden Life and Suffolk Susie. You guys all take care. Thanks for stopping by today. And we'll see you on the next video. This is for you, Renee.